represent Ogun Central. Let me commend my other colleagues that have actually commend the mover of this motion. It is very timely. Even I want to say it's probably a bit late because clearly we are being left behind as a nation. My colleague was talking about how we missed the industrial, and even this technological bliss. We are already being left behind. And unless we participate, we will continue to be left behind. When you look at the importance of what technology, and if you want to be specific and say computer is, to all nations of the world, you will discover that it is what we call then, when we were young, when we were being taught, is it arithmetic or mathematics, when they will say find the mean or the median, which we can clearly say maybe the average, a common denominator. For us to get it right, most things are now technologically driven. And we do not know that if we get this right, it will solve a lot of other problems. And that is why I will want to lend my voice to say that our National Council of Education, National Education Council, and by extension, I think we have National Computer Council as well. I think we should impress it on them that in our national policy on education, we should make this compulsory. That is, computer education must be compulsory in both the primary and secondary schools. Indeed, by extension, our tertiary institution. And we should encourage both UBEC and TED funds to take this as one of the core and most critical aspects of what they will be doing. Mr. President, if you notice that just pick one or two of these giants, either Google, Microsoft, just name it. Indeed, their income in 1 year is more than all the totality of what we run around for in 10 years. Add all our budget in 10 years as a nation, with all our oil and everything, and just take one or two, and you will see that they are combined. Those two are more than even all the 10 years that we run around and say, this is our budget, this is this, that is that. Mr. President, if we are able to get and introduce computer into our schools, into our young ones, you will discover that we will be solving, without us knowing it, even the insecurity that we have presently. Because yes, like we've said, we that have the means, we can't decide to send our kids to anywhere in the world. But Mr. President, let me say this. As long as the haves fail to provide for the have-nots, the haves will not enjoy what they have. When all our kids come, they will meet those ones that are not trained. And look at our teachers. Of course, you can't give what you don't have. And it should be trained the trainers. Once they are equipped with the necessary technology, they will be in turn be able to pass it to our younger ones. Mr. President, when you look at all the countries in the world, you will discover that in those days, we call Nigeria emerging markets. When India, I think Pakistan, Indonesia, Malaysia, now they've left us behind. How? Because they take their technology very seriously. They take the development of their younger ones, particularly those their students that are in schools. They are now totally computer literate. And I'm sure that until when we do that, we will still be left behind as we are presently. So in supporting what this motion, I want us to just look beyond where we are now and try to look where we want to be. Today we have talked so much on security. This is a veritable tool to create employment for our people. And once you get this right, it will cut across all the various human endeavor that you can think of. Either the education that we are talking about, once we get it right, education will resolve all other facets. Agri, commerce, industry, everything it will resolve. So, Mr. President, I join my colleagues in supporting this motion. And I think when the committee is constituted, they should be saddled with the responsibility of monitoring this so that we make sure that it is timed. We'll just give ourselves maybe 5 years or maximum of 10 years. All schools in Nigeria must be technology driven. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar.